If we continue to see nature or the environment as the clean air, the endangered species, the not human, we're not going to be able to make that connection between who we are and how we live and how the broader world operates. And that's fundamentally disempowering to the way we see ourselves in the world, because if we're not connected, we can't affect. I'm Timothy Denherter-Thomas, and I've been working on sustainability initiatives since I was in high school. I've thought about the world in terms of sustainability since I was really, really young. Just as a kid growing up in New York City, as a society, we're not living in alignment with kind of the world we would want to see. And thus, when I'm setting up a campaign or communicating, it's directly and intimately the strength of the economy, justice and a healthy society, and sustainability, you know, not as different units that we're somehow putting together, but as things that are fundamentally part of one whole. If we were really thinking about that whole system, I think we'd be doing things very differently. The Clean Energy Revolving Fund is a financial mechanism I started while I was a freshman here at Macalester with a couple of other students. The whole vision of the Clean Energy Revolving Fund was to set up an initial financial pool that we could use to fund the first project, use the energy savings, the water savings, whatever it is that the value that we're creating from that initial project to put back into the fund and fund the next project. We took a campus house and just, you know, a regular house where people are living, and retrofitted a low-flow shower, aerators, low-flow faucets, and like a dual-flush toilet. Very, very simple changes. Very small, minimal investments amounted in about a 200% return. So in 1 year, we saved twice the amount of money that we invested in the first place. We've started with those kind of like small pilot projects and scaled up. So the biggest project we've done so far is a $70,000 lighting exchange project. So we took these 4-foot fluorescent light bulbs and changed all of our existing light bulbs on campus from 32 watts to 25 watts, which is a small difference. But just that difference saved the campus about $40,000 a year, which is, you know, over 50% return. And we take that savings and put it back into the fund. So we're not losing resources, we're getting them back. And it allows us to do, you know, more and more and more. I'm working currently with a group of students and community members on a project called Cooperative Energy Futures. The vision is to work with neighbors at the community level and do home efficiency work as a group. And we have these kits which have just different home efficiency materials in them. And something like that which engages people in a process that just helps them out, but they wouldn't do without this broader support network, and that ultimately builds a grouping of community members which have, through a cooperative structure, more collective economic power, more collective political power, and more just social capital, because they have all these relationships with each other. It allows them to think, what do I do next?
He's just way ahead of his time. He's a visionary. He's making incredible change nationally. His ideas are sprouting up all over the country, and he's really taking sort of what has been campus activism and calling for change and saying, we're actually going to innovate the solutions in our communities and then spread those.
Or maybe we could even just ask, what do I have to do? Concretely, I'm asking people to find out how the way they live affects the rest of the world, and what they can do differently to affect the rest of the world in the way that they want to. The outcome is, you know, economies that are not exhausting their reserves, that are not abusing people all over the world, that are not destroying the stability in which our society is founded, that are instead sort of advancing evolution, doing something that is empowering the ability of all of life to live more fully, and in the process, you know, have a better life, be happier, build stronger communities, all of that, you know.